Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great today. In today's lesson, we're going to look at how to limit the rows that are selected. Now, if you remember previously, we were able to select all the rows and columns from a particular table using the star. So for you to be able to select all rows and columns from a particular table, you do select star from employees. And then if you execute this query, the result will be all of the rows and columns in that particular table. Okay, so you can see from our query output, we have all rows and all columns selected from the employees table. But what if we want to limit the number of rows that are selected? This is where we are going to introduce another clause known as the where clause. The where clause is used to limit the number of rows that are selected. So if you look at our screen, you see the syntax for the where clause. You have the select, and then you have either all or specific columns from the table, and then you have the where clause after the from keyword. So let us look at an example and then see how we are able to do this. First, I'm going to clear this query results, and then let's look at this query. Okay, so if you look at the query, it says select all from employees where department underscore ID is equal to 90. So what this simply means is retrieve all details for only department ID 90. Let's execute this query and see what the output is. Okay, you can see. So we've been able to select all the details for department ID 90. We have just 3 records for department ID 90. Stephen King, Nina, and Lex. They all work in department ID 90. Okay, so let us look at another example. I'll rewrite this query to be where salary is equal to 24,000. And then if I execute this query, you see that we have just one person with the salary 24,000. So assuming we have another employee whose salary is up to 24,000, you would have seen that person's details here. But because we have just one employee with the salary up to 24,000, that's why we're having just that employee's details showing up here. Okay, so before we continue, there are a few things you need to know. If you are using the where clause with a character string, you need to enclose the string with a single quotation mark. I repeat again, if you're using the where clause with a character string, you need to enclose the character string in single quotation mark. Also, if you are using the where clause with a date value, you need to include the date value in a single quotation mark. So let's look at this example. And then if we execute this query, it says select employee underscore ID, first name, last name, job underscore ID from employees where first name is equal to Stephen. Let's execute. And then we have 2 records, Stephen King and Stephen Markle. Their first names are Stephen. Okay, so there's something I want to show to you. Now, if you observe, we have Stephen in capital letter. Let me take out the capital letter and then make it small letter and execute the same query. And let's see the output. Now, we do not have any record, but it's the same Stephen, first name Stephen. Why don't we have any details? Why don't we have any records? This is something you need to understand. Data in the database is actually case sensitive. I repeat again, data in the database is case sensitive. So if you store a person's first name with capital letter and you want to retrieve the same first name, especially if it's a string character that is in quotes, you might want to specify exactly the way it is in the database. All right, so let's look at another example. If we look at the query on our screen, it says select all from employees where hire date is equal to 17th October 2003. I'll execute this query and then it gives us the employee that was employed on that particular date. So he was the only employee that was employed at on this particular date rather. Now, the default date format for Oracle is the day, the month, and then the last two digits in a year. That's DD, MON, and RR. But then I'll show you how to change this date format in a later lesson. And then also we can use the where clause with a number of comparison operators. Now, by comparison operators, I mean operators like your equal to, greater than or equal to, your less than or equal to, and then this one is not equal to, and then we have some other comparison operators like between and. Okay, we're going to see how to make use of all of this, and then we have another one, in. And then you put the set of values. Then we have another one, like is null. Okay, so these are common comparison operators, okay, that can be used with the where clause. So let's see an example. So we have this query, select all from employees where salary is greater than 10,000. So what this will do is to give us a query result of all employees whose salary is either greater than 10,000 or equal to 10,000. So let's execute this query and see the output. Wow. If we right click and say count rows, we have 19 rows already. So we have a total of 19 employees whose salary are either greater than 10,000 or equal to 10,000. So thank you for listening to this lecture. In my next video, we're going to look at some more examples of the where clause and some other comparison operators. If you've not subscribed, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out whenever I upload a new video. Thank you. Bye for now.